What's up, my fellow Remnant 2 gamers? Welcome back to the channel. It's D Werewolf Gaming back with another Remnant 2 video. Alright, I hope everybody has been doing well and staying safe. Today, guys, I want to bring you a video showcasing one of the legendary perks, Brutality. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that perk, basically, guys, is it gives you the chance to be able to deal 100% increased damage. But the downside of that is that you will take 100% increased damage whenever you get hit. So it's one of those high risk, high reward kind of style gameplays. It's a prism that I wouldn't really invest a whole lot of time in myself, to be honest with you guys, given the fact that, you know, yeah, it is really fun to take the bosses out and stuff pretty quickly, but you can also go down pretty easily as well. So with that being said, I do want to show you a little bit of gameplay. I mean, using it. And, you know, the biggest focus whenever using this particular type of prism is to not get hit. All right, with that being said, guys, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who continues to support me on this channel, and especially those who always have something positive to say, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you who always take time to leave a comment. Your valued time is always appreciated. All right, guys, so as you see right here in the gameplay, I almost messed up in this fight because for some reason my controller was acting crazy. I wasn't able to shoot at some points, and it even was showing like a disconnect symbol at some point in the middle of the gameplay. But I still managed to luck out and not take any hits. And also, I did fight the Ravager twice, primarily because I fought him one time using the Invoker with the Archon, which is, well, actually right now. And the first time I actually fought him, I was using the Invoker with the Ritualist class. Just to show you there are multiple ways to use and set these builds. It's basically whichever way you prefer. Both of them, the damage is pretty good in my opinion, so, you know, ultimately just choose whichever way works best for you. But otherwise, and, you know, besides that, there wasn't really too much difference in the gameplay or how fast I can take these bosses out. Basically using trying out both of those setups. And using the Havoc form actually felt pretty good using the Brutality legendary prism. All right, here's a little demonstration of how much tick damage I can get now with the Nebula as well, because you know that gun has repeatedly taken nerfs after nerfs after nerfs, but with that 100% increase in all damage, it really helps bring it back up to where it can really take out bosses pretty quickly. All right, so for the setup, guys, you know, I did use, like I said, Havoc form, but basically with the Archon as your prime, you automatically generate 15 mod power per second, and casting any skill doubles that. And I did use the Havoc form. Basically, when you fire it, you shoot out lightning. When you aim it, it gives you a little shield, and whenever you dodge, you get a blink dodge. So that way you can evade pretty quickly. All right, and for the Ritualist, guys, all right, Miasma, I really enjoy this perk because you cast an AoE burst that applies bleeding, burning, overload, and corroded to all enemies within 15 meters, dealing 11,160 base damage that lasts 40 seconds. Just great, guys. All right, so your armor really did not really matter, guys. Go whichever armor you prefer. And as you can see, guys, my total damage reduction was pretty low given the fact that I'm using that legendary prism. All right, so I did use the Trinket Heart Relic for the passive health regen of 2, and whenever you do take the relic, that is double for 15 seconds. All right, Spark Fire Shotgun, basically, guys, to apply fire to the enemies. Well, it fires incinerated shells that apply burning. And I got a brace of rounds on it to be able to apply some bleeding. And I paired it also with the charged wounds to be able to apply some old shock to the enemies. And at level 10, the range weak spot and range critical hits apply overload, dealing 742 shock damage over 40 seconds. My goal was to try to apply as many elements as I could. And so, on this particular build, I will have all 4 of the elements to get the most amount of benefit of this build that I'm using right now. All right, your melee weapon, I did go back and forth. The Crow Axe is great, guys, so I can apply some more shock and be able to apply corrosive on the enemies, but I was using the Hunter's Spear as well. That way I can stack up that corrosive damage, be able to take these bosses out pretty quickly. And when I was using that, I was pairing it with Edgelord to increase the melee charge speed. All right, the Nebula, guys, this is great for keeping that constant damage on the bosses, debuffing the enemies, and I did use the Maelstrom Mutator to increase the weapon's elemental damage by 10%, based on each amount of elemental status effect that is the target is affected by. All right, Shadow of Mystery, this increased status effect damage by 20%. Timekeeper's Jewel, this allows the status effect's duration to last longer, but this is dependent on the type of status effect the AR is suffering from. All right, and this ring right here, the Illumini ring, increases all elemental damage by 10%. This is where it's really flexible. You can use whichever ring you prefer right here, guys. I was changing this out sometimes during my gameplay. Like using, for example, as you see right now, looking at the Nebula, I had 9,540 corrosive. And whenever I did switch that out, use a different ring, such as the Acid Stone, I was able to get even more damage, basically using the corrosive with 9,720 now. So ultimately, it's whichever works best for you guys. All right, and at one point I did use the Banner Fanatic, guys. The biggest thing with this ring, though, is that you will lose some damage whenever you're looking at your weapons and the stats of elemental damage being done because the damage is done more up front instead of, so basically it reduces the duration, which when you're looking at it, that on your weapons and stuff, it will look like your weapons status effect damage are decreased because of that. All right, and you want to get your mods back quicker, you could easily use the Stone of Malevolence. Malevolence ring, guys, this increase generate 15% additional mod power. So there, like I said, there are a lot of different rings. The Honey Crystal ring was great because it deals 5% additional damage for each unique status effect the target is suffering from. Like I said, we got 4 different elemental effects they're gonna be suffering from, guys. So you're gonna be getting a good bit of benefit from that as well. All right, guys, and if you don't have that particular ring, you can easily use the Red Ring of Death. This duplicates the last damage and negative status effect, but it also reduces the outgoing status effect damage by 10%. All right, and last, guys, the Burden of the Destroyer is just great because it increases all damage by 15%. So that was another option as well. All right, and I did use the Energized Net Coil to increase status effect by 20%, and it also applies a little explosion that creates a 2-meter explosion as well, and it has to be refreshed to keep reusing it over and over. That was just one of the amulets you could have used, because there are a lot of status effect amulets or elemental amulets that you could easily use. Sinister Totem work great as well because you can get up to 50% increase in status effect damage. So that was another choice as well. All right, for the traits, Flash Caster comes automatically on the Archon class, increases mod and skill. Cast Speed, Affliction, guys, a lot of status effects to last a good bit longer, comes automatic with the Ritualist. They have 10 points in Triage, 10 points in Fortify to increase my armor. I did have 10 points in Gifted, so those skills will last a little bit longer. 3 points in Swiftness, so I can move pretty fast. 10 points in Spirit, 10 points in Insight, get mods back quicker. And right at 9 points in Vigor. Right at 8 points in Bart Skin, 7 points in Expertise, guys. 5 points in Siphoner, get a little bit of life still. They have 5 points in Chakra and 3 points in Endurance. Now, somewhere along the line, guys, I definitely would max out that Vigor. So take one of these trait points from any other section, and so that way you can definitely max out your Vigor. All right, and also don't forget to take your Mud Tonic. So that way you increase your health by 20 as well. And also the Mud Tooth Snake Oil as well to get that additional free concoction. And as you can see, my health is 161 with armor of 232, so that's just great. All right, so let's take a look at the Prism. I had critical damage, health bonus, and skill cooldown on this particular setup. Also had status damage of 15%. I had the tank setup, basically, guys, Wizard, the Mage actually, and I did have longevity as well. And basically, like I said, the legendary perk is Brutality, which all damage dealt and received is increased by 100% now. So as you see, I got mod and skill crit chance with mod generation as well, and to increase the duration of skill. So I wanted to make this a very versatile Prism, and I think this Prism worked pretty good to be able to dish out pretty good damage, and it worked paired pretty good with the Brutality perk. All right, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for your valuable time as always. D Werewolf out.